Hello, I'm Brigantia Blackbird of Blackbird's Brew. Happy Friday and welcome to the Pagan Housewife. Let's talk about the dining room. Now, I realize that for some, the dining room is a relic of the past, soon to be retired to the annals of history, much like the dinosaurs were. Now, we may not have a dining room or a breakfast nook or even a spot for table and chairs where we live, but we probably do have a place at home where we tend to eat, even if that just consists of the sofa, coffee table in front of the TV. But regardless of where we take our meals at home, this is an opportunity to use our witchy skills to our advantage. Now, naturally, if we do have a dedicated space, there's more we'll be able to do. So, as usual, take what ideas that you can, brainstorm on your own, and apply what's going to be practical for your circumstances and what is within your means to do. So let's have a few notes about the actual space of the dining room, because this is a room where it's all about the tables and chairs. What happens when people are in this space? It's all about that. So address some practicalities first. Are the table and chairs in good repair? If the table's about to collapse, you probably want to see something to do it. Are the chairs comfortable? Because no one wants to sit in a chair that's hard on the backside, or is, every time you get up is actually wrenching your back. And of course, do the table and chairs fit comfortably in the room? If it's too large, no one's going to be able to maneuver around it. That's going to make everything very difficult. And when a space becomes too confined, well, people don't really seem to enjoy themselves. They relax. It kind of puts them on edge. But if the table and chairs is way too small for the room, well, people can feel like they're just drowning, and they're very distracted by that instead of paying attention to the company that they're keeping. Now, as far as any other appointments and decorations for the room, I think it's important to keep coming back to this idea that the true focal point is the people seated around the table, because their attention should be focused on each other, more so than any other room in the house. Because sharing a meal isn't just about breaking bread or, maintaining our bodies. It's about building relationships, and that requires interaction. Now, one way to create a cozy, people-focused environment is through color. In traditional design, it isn't uncommon to choose darker colors in the dining room. It creates a sense of intimacy. It makes it easier for people to kind of block out and ignore the outside world. And the end result is that you're paying more attention to the people. I have to admit that current trends of having light and bright and very white and beige dining rooms, they do not appeal to me personally. If they do and you're comfortable in them, that's tremendous. But if you are noticing that your table and chairs is not a place where people gravitate towards, just kind of open your mind up to the possibility that maybe you could do something to create a little bit more intimacy in that space to make it more appealing. Of course, give special attention to the lighting and the place settings. The lighting shouldn't be too harsh or too dim. The goal is to be comfortable and to keep attention, again, focused on the people. Now, when it comes to place settings, they should be neatly arranged with the necessary implements for the meal, handy and in the traditional fashion. And even if your dinnerware, your flatware, and your glasses are simple, they can be well presented. And if your budget allows for it, you might collect cloth napkins, tablecloths, placemats, whatever makes it pretty to you, just to add a little extra oomph to how everything looks. Now, mealtime blessings. If you are 100% in the broom closet, don't despair. You can use symbolism in your decor and on the tablescape that represents blessings for the food, the household, and your guests, with none being the wiser, which in that situation, that's what you want. So you might think of having a nice cornucopia in the fall to represent abundance, or an arrangement of flowers and bunnies and baby birds for the spring to represent new life. You could have a tabletop water feature in summer to give a sense of refreshment. And in winter, you could display many evergreens representing immortality and strength. Just use your imagination. Everything around us has some kind of magical or spiritual symbolic meaning. So if you just do a little bit of research, find out what's what, you might be surprised how you can infuse an atmosphere into a room with just a few small touches, very, very discreetly, with no one knowing what you're up to. Now, for those who are not really in the broom closet, but it also isn't something that gets discussed or acknowledged within the household, try to use seasonal decor in your dining room to your best advantage. You can create an atmosphere that's charged with the energies of the season, but without rocking the boat at home. This would be a step beyond what we were talking about a moment ago, giving a little bit more of a pagan oomph, but without anything that's necessarily screaming pagan. So I don't think you'd be painting little pentacles onto your plates, but you could certainly bring in more elements that relate to your particular pagan path, and again, without necessarily upsetting anyone. And now, for everyone who is fully out of the broom closet, you openly practice your faith. It's no big deal. You're out there, no problems whatsoever. You could actually start saying blessings over your food before meals. It's a very simple and a very obvious way to bring a little bit of paganism to the dinner table. Now, it's true that in so doing, we are borrowing a page from our Christian brethren. However, having thankfulness for the bounty of the earth is a value for pagans, as is showing gratitude for the gods for the role that they play in keeping the whole system going. And honestly, after centuries of pagan customs being adapted to Christian purposes, I think turnabout is fair play. It won't hurt anything to borrow this from the Christians and use it in a more pagan context. But again, this is just to get your brain churning and to get you to start thinking about your dining room in a little bit of a different way. And if you have ideas of your own, please come tell me about them. I'd love to see you at Blackbird's Brew on Discord. There's a link to join in the description box below. Or you can tell me all about how you pagan up your dining room in the comments below. And as always, please like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.